Guys and gals, my name is Ricknineg. Thank you so much for joining me today. I want to welcome all the subscribers who are new to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today, and especially those who have been on my channel for so long and supporting me. I really do appreciate it. Today we're going to be talking about I Love Lucy, more specifically Fred Mertz. We all know that I Love Lucy has the star, of course, Lucille Ball, getting into the craziest situations. However, have you stopped to think about Fred Mertz and his crazy situations, his crazy ideas? He comes up with some pretty crazy schemes. Let's take a look at them. And if there are more that you can think about, let me know down in the comments below. Which one of these is your favorite moment? Now, our first moment comes from the episode Ricky loses his voice. Now, of course, as the episode explains, Ricky does lose his voice in this episode, and so he has to stay sick in bed, and this is preventing him from organizing the next show at the club. So, of course, Lucy has a genius idea for her to plan and organize the show while not telling either Ricky's boss or Ricky. And so she decides, along with Fred and Ethel, to do a gay 90s review, as they call it. And so they would each star in the show without Ricky knowing it. And it was a hilarious episode. And although Lucy came up with the idea to organize the show, Fred was the one who came up with the sneaky idea of doing the gay 90s review.
I got it. It was in the trunk, the whole act. Words, music, orchestration.
And the great thing about it, he had all the music down, he had all the lyrics, the steps, and even had the showgirls from back in the day come back. And that's one of the most hilarious scenes in all of I Love Lucy, in my opinion. Fred and Ethel were even allowed a part in the show itself, and they played Carolina in the morning, and it was just a hilarious scene. And the star of it all, of course, Lucy. Now, of course, for the next moment, you can't forget the episode The Black Eye. Now, in this one, Lucy accidentally gets a black eye after Ricky tosses a book at her. However, the Mertzes believe that they got in a fight. And Fred has a crazy idea of telling Ricky, hey, send Lucy flowers, apologize. It's not right that you gave her a black eye. Ricky says, Fred, you don't understand what happened, and he walks away. So Fred impersonates Ricky by sending flowers to Lucy. However, he makes a mistake and signs it, Eternally Yours, Fred. I love this episode so much.
I signed it, Eternally Yours, Fred. Fred? Fred!
That results in so much chaos, and of course, Fred finally punching Ricky in the face, giving him a black eye, and Ricky declaring,
What happened?
Now, in the episode Fred and Ethel fight, this is an interesting one because both couples end up fighting. After trying to resolve the issue between the Mertzes, the Ricardos become upset at each other. What's great about it is that Fred is the one who comes up with the idea in the cafe of pretending to set fire to Lucy and Ricky's apartment. In that way, Ricky could come in, quote unquote, and save her. However, it doesn't go as planned, as Lucy has a plan of her own, is all bandaged up, and she jumps out of the window, and of course, chaos ensues as always. However, remember, it was Fred's idea to, quote unquote, set fire to the apartment. Now let's look at this moment from the episode The Adagio. What's important about this one to note is that you may miss it. Lucy wants to star in one of Ricky's shows, and of course he doesn't want her to. However, Lucy has an idea and finds out that the show has to do with Apache dancers, so she wants an Apache teacher. Before we see the Frenchman come to try to give her lessons, we see Fred come up with an idea. He wants to get in on the act, so he thinks, hey, why don't I teach Lucy how to dance? Well, of course that gets him into trouble, and of course Fred always brings us a laugh. The penultimate moment comes from the episode Getting Ready. Now this one may be a little bit deceptive because the name doesn't really give away all that is happening here. If you're a fan of the Hollywood episodes, or at least building up to the Hollywood episodes, then this is the one for you. Of course, this denotes the Ricardos and the Mertzes' preparation for going to Hollywood, and they realize that they need to get a car. Fred decides to take over and says, hey, I can get everyone a good car. Don't worry, I'll go downtown. Of course, that became the biggest mistake because Fred took it on its own to come up with a crazy idea, and look at the car that he chose. It's not surprising to say that this car would probably not have made it to California. Do you want some proof? Yeah, this is not looking good for the four of them.
Put that back.
Well, that was maybe just the door. I'm sure Fred looked at the headlights. Okay, well, as long as the bumper's on there tight. Well, it doesn't look too good, but you know what they say, as long as the engine is strong, everything should be okay. And our last moment, guys and gals, comes from the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour, which is not technically officially part of I Love Lucy, but it is also called by some people the I Love Lucy hour-long episodes. And the one that I'm talking about is the one that stars Red Skelton, Lucy Goes to Alaska. Now, in the beginning of the episode, it starts out that the four of them, the Mertzes and the Ricardos, are heading to Alaska to look at a piece of land. Now, this piece of land was owned by Charlie Charles, who is one of Fred Mertz's friends. However, everyone's pretty, I wouldn't say super excited to go there because they think something may be wrong, that the deal won't go through, and of course they were correct. The land was supposed to be about 10 minutes from town. They thought it was 10 minutes driving, however it was 10 minutes by plane, and so it's fairly far. The deal didn't go through, but again, this was one of the last times that we see Fred Mertz's crazy ideas. Well, that's it, guys and gals. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. Let me know down, as I said in the comments below, which one is your favorite. And if there are any that you'd like me to feature in any future episode, you can also let me know down in the comments. It's always good to get feedback. It's always great to get ideas and concepts and connect with you guys and gals during these videos and in the comments. I also want to let you know that I have live streams that I do on I Love Lucy, and so what that does, you can interact with me, we can chat, and it's absolutely free. I usually do those on the weekends. Just stick to the notifications and I'll let you know when those are. Alright, guys and gals, I hope you're staying positive. I hope that you are keeping hopeful as always. That's the most important thing, and that you're always bettering yourself. I always try to remind you of that, and as well as just keeping positive all the time. And most importantly, guys and gals, be hopeful.